are hanging out in a new angle. Anyways, today is Sunday, so Sunday, August 22nd of 2021. And I put you guys in a different angle today because we're going to make a wallet, like the title says. We're going to make the same wallet we've made before, except I'm going to show you guys how to add a zipper pocket to it at the top instead. And I actually have to find an example. Is there an example in that bag right there? I mean, that box down there on the floor. I have to find an example so I can show you guys. Wallet? Does it have a zipper? Yep.
Don't use all the papers.
So we're going to make a wallet, except it's not going to be Halloween colors today. But this is the change that we're making, is the adding a zipper pockets to the top. So I put you guys on a mobile tripod today so that I can just put you up to the machine so you can watch me sew the zipper and so on and so forth. And I'll warn you when I move the camera, but we'll have it so where you can see my cutting and everything mobily, because some of the responses were wanting to see close-ups. Well, I don't have a way to do that unless I put you guys on a mobile thing instead of a permanent setup thing, because the permanent setup thing is the tripod for that is you guys see me from far away and it's hard to do close-ups, and it actually is harder to move that unit. This one we can just move where we need. So hopefully this helps some of you guys see some of the close-ups of making a bag. I mean, making a wallet. And yep. So this is the fabric I'm going to use today. Is this purple and black for the outside, and this black for the inside.
Purple see-through, isn't it?
Well, no, it's not. It's just the lighting that's behind it makes it look that way. Okay. Everybody knows that. Anyway, so that's what I'm going to make today. But before I get to all that, I'm going to have Scott pass me things so that I could see who is all here, like always. All right, we have, and I don't have the camera facing to me, so you guys are facing against me, so Scott can actually see. I can't. Let's see, we got Kim here. We have Susan here, Bernie, Tanya, Laura, Linda, Debbie, June, Emily, Teresa, Jacqueline, Terry. Yes, Becca. She said she's going to come by. I was on until the end. We got Darlene here. Carol is here. Patricia, Marla, Crystal, Milena, Vicky, Judy. Angela is here. Heather, SL Frost from New Mexico. We got Joy here. I'm still scrolling. We got Paula, Shirley, Podunk Pretties. I'm here today on time. That's fine. We got Mary, Terry, Quilting Bug Diana. Let's see. Diana's here. Mary is here. Kathleen. Donna is new. Welcome. For everybody that's new, welcome. Shelly, Patricia, Crystal, Grace, Teresa, Quiltigram, Patty, Mary, and Nancy. All right, guys, so everybody, welcome. So also today, even though I didn't put it in the description, because you can only type so much in the description, and I always put Sew Sunday when it's a Sew Sunday video, is the giveaway announcement on who won the giveaway that I announced for everybody to fill out the form, which, by the way, all of your guys' responses are helping tremendously. It's going to help. It's not just going to, I'm not going to like change what I do, but it's helping with some of the things that I do and how I do them, like putting the camera on a mobile thing. I mean, if it doesn't require mobile, then it'll sit ahead. But if it something that requires you guys to see the sewing, then we're going to have you on this from now on. So a lot of the responses are helping change just a couple little things. There really wasn't much to change because a lot of the responses were pretty clear, saying that they like it the way it is. So that's much put it for a couple things. So, yeah. But I announced that last week. Everybody filled out the thing, had 143 responses, which was I was hoping a lot more of you were going to fill it out. But either way,
Mary got her quilt. She wants you to let you know that it's beautiful.
Aw, thank you. There's 4 quilts to give away. They're small. They're not huge. They're just baby size, and then one is wall hanging, or you can wall hang any of them. They're wall hanging size. I showed them in last week's.
The wallets, and she said, "My granddaughters love them."
Ooh, awesome! So, I will. If you are here when I announce you as a winner, there's going to be 4 winners. If you are here, I'm going to give you the chance to choose one of 4 items, and then whatever's left will go to the ones that aren't here. But I will be able to ship them. You don't have to worry about emailing me because the form had your address. So all I have to do is, send it away. Once it's done, it's done. So you guys don't have to worry about anything. If you are not here and you're watching this as a replay and you found out you're the winner, don't worry about it because it'll just get sent to you and you'll just have a surprise in the mail. So, yeah, that's it. So we're going to do that in a little bit.
She says it's beautiful. Shelly got her quilt. She says it's beautiful.
Aw, I'm glad everybody got their stuff.
And no, sorry, Kathleen, it ended last night.
Yeah, it ended at 11:59 p.m. The winners have been picked because they had to be picked in advance with a random number generator because the device that you're watching me from is actually the device that has the program on it. And I was not able to pull it up on any other program. So we went to the random number generator, went back to the thing, went back to the number generator. Yeah, it was a hassle choosing it all. I should have did it from a computer instead. It would have made things easier. But either way, the winners are picked and I will announce them in a little while. But let's start making a bag while we're why do I keep saying bag? I must have bag on my mind. Let's make a wallet with a zipper pocket. So it's the same exact wallet, except it has a zipper pocket. So we're going to go through all of the supplies needed. First, you need a fat quarter for the outside of your wallet and or a nice big chunk of scrap. The next thing you'll need is, we're doing this a different way because you could also make these with a 1/4 yard of fabric, which is like 9 inches. So I only need 8 inches. So I just grabbed a yardage, which I only have 34 inches on this wonderful thing. Because if you guys didn't know, I have such OCD that I actually put little tabs that say how many inches and or yards are on my folds. So once I pull from this though, it's going to go in the drawer instead because there's no need for it to have 20 inches wrapped around a little bolt thing. You also need some fusible interfacing. I'm going to show you. This is the Pellon 911FF. So here it is in the camera. I'm hoping that it's seeable. That is what I use for wallets and bags. It's pretty stable woven interfacing. The next thing you're going to need is a friction pin and or some kind of pencil or something to mark. You need a magnetic snap or whatever kind of snap device you're using. You just need 1 set for the closers. So I have a male and a female and then my washers for it. The other thing that's new for this wallet is a zipper. We ordered zippers about, I don't know, a year ago now, last year sometime. And I must have not read the description properly because we ordered the wrong zippers. We got these inside facing kind. So that's what I've been making all of my wallets with, is these hidden zipper ones, because I got the wrong kind. Usually I get the outer ones with a different little zipper tab on them. But yeah, some reason I got the wrong ones. And so I'm going to use them up by making wallets with them because they're no good for bags. They're too small for bags. I need a wider zipper for bags. So I use them on these. And then everything else I'll tell you as we go. So I'm going to tip the camera down so you guys can watch all the cutting. And then I'll obviously verbally tell you what we're cutting. And some of you have already wrote this down because quite a few of you have made these little wallets already. But now we're adding the zipper pocket. So it's just a couple more things that you do different. So let me put the camera down and you guys can just watch the cutting. Let's hope that this picks it all up right here.
You want me to move that out for you?
Nope.
Tell me.
Okay. Hopefully that stays nicely right there so you guys can watch cutting. And I'm just going to go ahead and cut everything that needs to be cut. And I'll tell you all the numbers and what the piece is for. We're going to start with, I have this right here and it's pressed as best as possible. This is my outside of the wallet. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the outside of my wallet right now. And it is an 8" by 8 1/4" piece. So we're going to find me a big ruler. I'm going to turn this so that I can line it up on a line, just like this. I'm going to grab a nice big ruler and I'm going to lay it on a line and straighten up the edge of this fat quarter. I'm going to grab a left-handable cutter and make my first cut. And then we're going to cut an 8" by 8 1/4" square. And I have salvage down here, so I'm going to kind of take that into consideration by cutting just a little bit bigger than I need to. So here's 8 inches right here, and I have it on 8 1/2 because I needed it to be just a little bit bigger since my selvage is right there. So I'm going to stop right there, cut that corner out, pull it away. I'm going to turn it and line it up at 8 1/4 right here, which cuts the selvage off. So here's the outside of my bag already cut and ready to go. I'm going to set that aside. And now from this same, I'm also going to cut my flap for the snap. We're going to cut a 4" by 5 1/2". So we're going to line this up on, we'll just do 5 1/2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 1/2. And then we're going to come to the 4" mark right here. So 5" by 5 1/2" by 4 inches. So there's my, oops, I gotta get that little piece, just a little. So there is for my snap holder / the flap to close it. And now I'm done with the outside of my wallet at the very moment. We'll cut the interfacing for all that in a second. I'm going to grab my fabric that I'm using for my inside of my wallet. And again, I'm just going to switch out because this is folded twice. I'm going to line it up on a line. I'm going to make sure, because you could see the end of this fabric was not very straight when I put it on this little bolt, which happens even from a shop. It's never straight. I'm going to line it up on a line, and I'm going to make a cut right here and straighten this whole thing up. And if you guys have questions, just type it in. Scott can answer them, or tell them to me so that I can answer them, I should say. I'm going to plug my iron in because I'm going to need it soon. All right. So for the inside of the wallet, I'm going to start by cutting off of this, the whole entire selvage to selvage. This is the width of fabric that I'm cutting here because I'm going to be cutting more cuts and they're all going to be from the same cut. So we're going to cut an 8" strip off of here. So I'm going to come, I'm at the 10, so I just need to come over to the 18 to make an 8". So I'm going to go ahead and cut that away. We're going to turn it. I'm going to open it up. And you can see this is why I turned the iron on, because this has been folded for so long. I'm going to line this up on the end and cut my selvage off first. So you guys probably won't see over there in the corner real quick. But I'm just lining it up on a line right here. And over here, I'm just cutting the selvage end off. And then we'll make our actual first cut. All right, so the first cut for this is a 20" piece. So we're going to come over here to 20 right here. So it's 8 inches wide by 20 inches long for the first cut. So there's my first one. I'm going to set that aside. The next piece I'm going to cut from this, and I need to press it because it's going to keep folding funny. My iron is not hot enough yet. It was sort of hot enough to get that piece to lay down. I'm going to put this right here on the line. We're going to cut the next couple pieces off. So this is going to be the main part that we're making the folds with. We're going to cut a 8, which is already this, by 4 1/4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the quarter. So it's 8 by 4 1/4. We're going to set that aside. The next cut that we're going to cut off of here is, hold on, I'm trying to look at my paper because I'm out of order right now. Okay, we need a 8" by 7 1/2 inch. So we're going to line this back up and cut a 7 1/2 inch piece off of here. So we're just going to go over to 17 1/2 on my board because it's in front of you guys. Using the lines on my mat for cutting this time. All right, the next piece that we're going to cut is, give me 2 seconds. I'm looking. We need to cut the pieces that are going to be for our pocket now. So we're going to cut, where am I at? Eight inches by 3 3/4 inches. So we're going to cut 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 3/4 inch pieces off of here. This is going to be for the inside of our pocket. So 3 3/4. You need 2 of them. Just like that. Now we have those. And the last thing we need is to cut a zipper tabs off of this, which we have a little area right here. You can see this little area right here. I'm just going to cut that off just like that, make it nice and straight. And I'm going to use those for zipper tabs because you need zipper tabs for this. So I'm just going to cut that little piece off of my fat quarter. And then we're going to split it in half. I don't even know how wide it is. Oh, it's 2 1/2. So we need 1 1/4 is half of this. And there we go. So I have my 2 pieces for zipper tabs from my outside fabric. Now we're going to take all our pieces. This is for the inside of the pocket. I'm going to put it aside. We're going to cut some interfacing for the rest of everything. So we're going to grab the interfacing and we're going to cut off a 7" by 19" piece. Sorry about that sound. So we're going to cut 7 by 19. So I'm just going to lay this on here, nice and flat, right there. And I could see through this ruler, so I'm just going to go ahead and cut the 7" line. Move that for a second, and we're going to turn this into a 19" piece. So you're just cutting a little bit off the end. And I use all those pieces that I cut off. I'm going to place this with this long piece that's 20 inches by 8 inches. This is going to get centered onto this. We're going to iron that first because of the crease. I'm going to iron it and then I'm going to put this on here just like that, and it's going to be centered where I have the same amount on all 4 sides like that, and we're going to iron that on just like that. So give me a second. We're going to cut some more. I'm just placing that with it. The next piece that we're going to cut is 7 1/2 inches by 3 1/4 inches. So we're going to line up 3 1/4 right here by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 1/2. I know I seem to be cutting it all wonky, but It's by the bolt for me, so I can do whatever with it. This is going to go with that piece that we cut that is this little excess piece right there. That's going to go on that. The 8 by 4 1/4 inch piece. That's what that goes on. And we need another one that is, again, I'm backwards on my list here.
Chris, I want you to know, she says, I still can't find my snaps. Tiff. Are you surprised?
Yeah.
She says, are you surprised?
Where am I at? Where am I at? Give me 2 seconds. I'm trying to read through my things. That's that inside piece. For the outside of the wallet, we are going to need a 7.5 by 7 3/4 inch piece. I'm actually just going to cut that this way with a big ruler right here. So I need 7.5 by 7 3/4, which is really hard to see on this darn ruler, but we're going to cut it out anyway. And this is going to go with your outside piece. Again, we're going to be ironing this on like this. There we go, that way. Center so that you have a 1/4 inch seam all the way around. So that goes with that. And what else am I cutting? I need the half piece for this, which I totally did not cut yet. Oh, that's 8, the 7.5 by, okay. We need another piece that is a 7.5 by 3 1/4. So I'm gonna get that from here again. 1, 2, 3 1/4 by 7.5, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And my ruler is upside down, so or else I would be reading it the other way. And this one is going to go in between this right here, that last piece, once it is folded in half. And this is that 7.5 by 8 inch piece. So that's going to go in there. All right, those are all the pieces we need from that. And I'm going to go ahead and chop the rest of this off right here because I'm going to cut a 2 inch piece off of here. By however long this actually is. I just need a 2 inch piece off the interfacing. Set the rest aside, and this is going to go inside of the tab once it's folded for where the snap goes. So now we're going to go over to the iron real quick and put all these pieces together. So again, you guys are mobile, so the camera is moving. You can watch me put all these pieces on.
Chris is wondering if that's light or heavy interfacing.
It's lightweight. All right. Hopefully you guys don't fall off of that. So I'm going to go ahead and start with this big long piece, which is the inside of the wallet. I'm going to press it first because it's very, it's got that fold in the middle. Turn it back upside down. We're going to make sure that the glue side is down, so that's the rough side. And we're going to line this up in the center. This looks pretty center to me. And now I'm just going to heat it up on here, just quickly, like this. Then I'm going to flip it over and press it a lot better. And my iron is out of water, so that's why it sounds weird.
Do you need me to get you some? We got plenty.
There we go. That should be enough for what I'm doing here.
Okay.
Okay, so this one is now attached. This is going to get marked so that we can fold it, but let's attach the rest of our pieces while we're here. Here's my outer part of the wallet, and we're gonna, I don't know why I still keep wanting to say purse. We're gonna center that on where there's a 1/4 inch all the way around, and if you want to mark it, you can. I don't see the need. It lands just right. I'm going to press it. So now that one is attached. So this is the outside of the wallet. It's nice and done and ready. I'm just going to set that aside. Now we're going to take that piece where we're only putting half of this in here. I'm going to press it real quick. I'm going to fold it in half onto itself, just like this. Create the crease. Open it up. We're going to take this piece, glue side down, and we're going to line it right up to that line, just like this, but we have a 1/4 inch on each side. We're going to fold that back over on the top of it. I'm just going to iron that in there. Then we're going to take this piece right here. We're going to put it about a 1/4 inch away from the top, about right here. Doesn't matter what side is your top, we're just going to have it about a 1/4 inch away because we're going to be using this to sew on to the end of another piece. Turn it around and press it. I'm going to set that aside over there. I'm going to make sure that these are pressed while we're here. Those are from the inside of these two pieces of the inside of the zipper pocket. So we're going to set those back over there because they're ironed and ready to go. Now we're going to take the outside part that goes to the snap. We're going to fold it in half, creating a center crease. We're going to open it up again, fold the outsides into the center, crease that, turn it around, fold the outside into the center, crease that, open the whole thing up just like this, and then add your 2 inch by 5 inch or so, because that was just that piece that we cut off, into here, refold it back onto itself just like this, getting those pieces in there. And it doesn't matter if you can see some of the interfacing in the center like that, because it's getting folded now on top of itself this direction. So the center seam stays there. Instead of folding it in half like you normally would, we're actually folding it this direction onto itself and creating a crease. And the last thing to press and prep is the zipper tabs. I'm going to turn them wrong side up, and I'm going to press in just about a 1/4 inch from the edge, like this, on both sides. Most of this is going to get chopped off anyway, but we're just doing this to make sure that we sew it on correctly. Both sides are pressed in, and then I'm going to fold them up to themselves like this. And then I'm just going to repeat it on this one. I know you guys probably do zipper tabs differently, but I don't want the zipper exposed in any way, so I'm not just placing it on top. I'm actually placing the zipper inside of this little piece, and I'll show you when we get to the sewing machine. And then fold it. Once both sides are folded in, we fold it on top of itself like this, lining it up. And here's our zipper tabs now. So they look like this, folded in half, and the ends are folded in. So now I'm going to put all this aside over here, and we're going to mark the other piece. So let's go back to the table. We're moving. You're down on the table now. All my little pieces are here. This one right here is going to go straight to the sewing machine because that's already ready. The zipper tabs we're going to set aside because we don't need those just yet. And this piece is going to connect to this long piece. This flap can go with the sewing machine stuff. And we're going to now mark this up. So grab this long piece that is 20 inches by 8 inches, and we're going to put some markings on it. And we're going to start with grabbing a ruler. We're going to start with marking 2 3/4 inch up from the edge of the fabric. So here's the edge of the fabric. I'm going to line this up on 2 3/4, just like this. And I'm going to take my pen. I know that sound sucks, but when I pushed in like that, I also created an indentation into the fabric to make it easier to fold. So 2 3/4 up, then 1 3/4 from that mark. So I'm going to put my 1 3/4 inch mark on that. Then I'm going to make sure that this up here and this down here is nice and straight. Make the next mark 2 1/2 inches up from that. Just like this, lining it up on there. And then 2 inches from that last one. So on the 2 inch mark, again, I'm also making sure that this is nice and straight because it'll get off ever so slightly. And now what we're going to do is take this over to the ironing board. And since I pushed really hard, you're going to see I already created a crease right here. So there's one crease. We're going to fold it on top of itself this way. Then we're going to fold it this way underneath. So we're going to fold that whole unit underneath. And I already have that crease pretty much pushed down by my pen. If you use a pencil, you can have the same exact outcome. And then the next one is going to go this way on top of itself, like this. And I can do this before even going to the iron. I can actually just show you guys. And then that last one go under like this.
Says, wow, genius.
So there's that. And I am literally going to just take this whole unit now that I've done that, and I'm going to go over to the iron and I'm going to press this down so that I don't have to move you again for a second. And I'll show you what it looks like. All right. So now it's pressed. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this and sew at the sewing machine, and this and sew this top piece right here at the sewing machine. But before I do that, turn the whole thing around so you can see this is on this side. They're permanently folded. You're not going to forget where it goes. We're going to take this extra little piece. Oops, where's that? Right here. This extra piece, and we're going to put it right sides together. See how we left a 1/4 inch? We're going to put that on this side. Again, your interfacing is not in the way. We're going to sew this down, and then we're going to be opening that up and pressing it. So let's go to the sewing machine now so you guys can watch these next steps. We have all the pieces that need some stitching for now. I'm going to move all the other stuff out of the way so I can have room for you guys. Here we go. Camera's moving.
Carissa wants to know, is that a gray grunge fabric? She says,
It is not grunge, but it is like a black with gray.
It's black. Gray in it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I'll hold it up to the camera so you can see. I don't know what it's called because I didn't read the selvage. So here's some of the pieces that we just sew. We're just going to go through the pieces while we're right here. But I'm looking at the selvage real quick to see. Nope, there's nothing written on this selvage, so I can't tell you what it is. All right. I have my regular foot on, but we will be changing it when we get to the zipper. We're going to start with the, since it's right here, all these pieces. Here is the flap snap part. We're going to just sew across the top of this with 1/8 of an inch of a seam. And I'm going to come off of it just like that. Snip away my start, and it looks like my little thing got tangled up in there.
Bernie says your nails didn't match the fabric.
Oh, yeah. If you guys can't see, they have sparklies. I couldn't decide if I wanted silver or black, so I went with black with silver sparklies. You guys know, once a month I change my nail color.
Patty says, is it batik?
No, it's not a batik.
I didn't think so.
No. Sorry, I had a little bit of a thread type. I should have pulled my thread up before sewing this because it literally, you know how it like bunches up at the end. I don't like that. I like them to be super clean. So I am pulling that out by snipping it away. There we go. I try to leave tails when I can. So I'm going to set this piece aside for now because I don't need it just yet. And we're going to take this long piece now that we folded in half with the interfacing on one side. It is folded. I'm going to sew 1/8 of an inch down the one side of this. and I back stitch. Just go right along the edge. Back stitch to the other side. Oops, and I shouldn't have broke my thread. Bad habit, bad habit. So there's that. It's stitched at the top. Now we're going to grab, we're going to put that aside because that's already done. We're going to grab the big piece. So here's the big piece, 2 folds on one side. Here's the other side that we're going to add this extra piece to. That is 8 inches by, I forgot, 4 1/4. And we put the interfacing to one side of it. We're going to add this on here, the 1/4 inch seam. And then I'm going to take, without moving you guys, we're going to just fold this back like this. And I'm going to go to the ironing board and press this and then flip it on top of itself so that that looks like this. So it looks like that. And then I'm going to stitch, after I press it real quick, nice and flat, I'm going to stitch across this top portion right here. So I'm just going to leave you guys right here at the sewing machine and I'll be right back. All I'm doing is pressing this nice and flat, and I'll show you when I come back over there. So here's the piece. You can see I have it folded on top this way. So the seam, you notice that we had lots of extra space. That seam is now sitting on top of the empty space. And this folds onto it nicely. And we're going to top stitch along this. And then we're also going to do our top stitching of our folds while we're here. And before I do anything, I am going to bring my thread back up, which seems to be stuck. You guys get to see the dust in here. Oh, it did. It broke in there. Come on. Every once in a while it gets stuck. Just gotta, there we go. Tip the needle up and down and unstick it. My nice dusty machine. It's time for a cleaning. So now I'm gonna bring that bobbin thread up. That way I can not have any thread funkiness. All right, so now I'm gonna top stitch this. I'm gonna back stitch and then straight across, 1/8 of an inch away from the edge. Run it off, snip it. And now you can see that is top stitched right there. And then now we're going to turn it around and see when it opens up the folds, they just go right back into place because I ironed them. So I'm going to top stitch this top flap right here and this top piece right here. So I'm just going to tip the whole thing upside down like this and I'm going to move everything out of the way and grab that first portion. I'm going to stitch off, grab the next one, flip everything else out of the way. We also need it not to hit the camera. Okay, so now both of these are top stitched. So it should look like that. Right there. There we go. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take this big long flap. Let's see how well that can be seen right there. This big long extra piece right here. We're going to take this and we're going to be folding this up in like this, but we're going to be measuring it. We're going to actually lay this. I'm going to put a ruler up here. Here's your edge of this piece, and here's your edge of this piece. Put one edge at the edge of the ruler, like this, and the other edge right here, and we're going to scoot it until it's sitting at 1.5 inches. So you want it at 1.5 inches away, and I'm going to go ahead and kind of like give this a little finger press, just like this. And then I'm going to turn the whole thing around and make sure that the other side is 1.5 inches in space between the two. And it kind of turned a little sideways right there. There we go. I'm going to take and press this real quick at this fold so that it stays, because we want it 1.5 inches away. So I'll be right back. I'm going to go to the iron and press that. So now you should have a piece that looks like this. So you have the two flaps here and here, and then you have this flap, and there's 1.5 inches between the whole entire thing. So you can see 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches, all the way down. Now, before we do anything else, we're going to grab this extra piece right here that we made. We already top stitched it. That was the second thing after I did the little snap holder. We're going to take that and we're going to lay that right on top, just like this, lining up this end right here. So you have about 1/4 inch between the two, just like that. We're going to lay it right there. And now we're going to top stitch these down and these down. So I'm just going to kind of right here at the 1/8 of an inch from the edge, just top stitching. And then I'm going to come over here. We're going to lift the needle back up out of the way. And we're going to top stitch this side, just holding them down. Now what I'm going to do is the side that has the two smaller flaps, we're going to center that off. So we're going to grab a ruler, and I, for the life of me, don't know if we're going to see this. So let's grab a red friction pin, and I'm going to know that this is 8 inches wide. So the center is on the 4. So you see that? I'm going to take and mark right here. Let's see if we can see this red. I can see it. I doubt you guys can see it. I marked at the 4. I'm going to come down here. I'm going to mark at the 4 again. And then I'm going to come down a little bit further, mark at the 4 again. All the way till the whole thing has got a couple markings. We're going to straighten this line up right here. Hopefully I'm going to be able to see this. Oh my goodness, it's already like so dark. I really need to see that. Okay. I don't know if you guys can see my line, but I can see it, and that's the whole point. All right, we're going to slide this under here, and I'm going to stitch right above this flap, down, in, and back a couple times, stitch down to the next one, down, in, and back a couple times, because your credit cards, you don't want them to just like, you know, as you're grabbing them in and out all the time, you don't want that to snap ever. So I'm just going to... Yep. And then stitch the rest of the way. And then I'm going to come right off here. I'm going to snip away this starting thread. I'm going to come to the back side and snip away that thread. And now you can see I have 2 open pockets, which this one is not sealed yet, but it will get sealed soon. We have our 4 credit card slots. And when this is folded in half, our 4 credit cards will be facing inside the wallet, and they will never take the chance of falling out. So now we're going to just set this aside, because this is going to get trimmed in a little bit. And we're going to work on the next step, which is putting the metal, the magnetic snap in here. So we're going to grab the flap for the outside of the wallet. And we already stitched that down. But what we're going to do is we're going to open it up just like this. And we're going to take... We want the female end. So here's the female end. It sticks in. The male end is the side that sticks out like that. We're going to take this female end and one of our washers, and we're going to go ahead and lay this washer in here. You can see we have a center line. So we're just going to lay this in here almost to the top, but not quite at the top completely. Just like that. And we're going to take a marking tool and mark both sides just like this. And I, for the life of me, cannot see those. Let's do it from the... No, I can't. I can't see them. If you can't see your markings, there's one other way you can do this. You can hold it in place like this with it in the center like that. And you can grab a seam ripper, a nice sharp seam ripper, stick it in the hole, slide up, swap hands, stick it in the hole, just like this, and slide up. There we go. And I'm just going to fix it just a little bit because I couldn't see the markings. I'm just holding it and sliding very carefully with my seam ripper, just like that. We're going to take this end now and slide it in there, just like this. So it's going to sit right here on the edge. Turn it upside down, put the washer on it. Give me 2 seconds. I have to hold it a certain way to knock these down. You can bend them down with pliers. We have pliers. We're going to bend that out of the way. And then what I like to do is, you know, that little extra piece we took off of our 19-inch piece? We're going to take some scissors and cut a little square off of that. And even though this is being enclosed, I still like to cover it. So I'm going to take this, fold it in half, and take it over to the iron so that that melts down real quick. And then I'll show you what it looks like. So it is now melted down in there, covering the metal purposely. I think it's cleaner that way when I do that. And now that that's done, we're going to come from the top here and the top here and sew down these sides, sealing it up. So we're just going to put my thing down with 1/8 of an inch of seam. I'm going to back stitch a little bit. We're going to seal this one side. Come over here and seal this other side. And snip all this excess away. Don't want any loose threads.
Krista says that looks way less complicated than I thought it would be.
Oh no, this is very easy. All right, making a thread mess now. All right, so now we have the flap. Now we're going to grab the outside.
She says the snap.
So here's the outside of this. We're going to make sure which direction this is. So this is the 8 1/4 way. We want that the 8-inch direction like this. So we want the 8 1/4 because 8 is the width. So we want the 8 1/4 inch direction. We're going to line this up here. This little, we can do everything from sitting here. We're going to put, this is an 8-inch ruler here. So if you center it, the 4 is my center. So between 3 and 5 is where this flap is going to sit right here. Between 3 and 5, just like that. And that is going to get sewn on. I'm not even going to do anything. I'm just going to kind of hold it right here. I'm going to turn the whole thing and I'm going to stitch it on there with 1/8 of an inch of seam just to hold it in place. Snip my threads away. So that is on there. Now let's add the other side. Since this is getting a zipper on it this time, what we're going to do is we're going to be laying this on here like this, and we're going to be going 1 1/8 inch down. So from this top, this my ruler again, its center is at 4. You can even do it from the back side so you can make your markings better. 1 1/8 inch from the edge. So here's the 1/8 inch mark and 1, and we're going to take a pin right here and mark a circle right there on the 4, and then 1 1/8 inch down. Move the ruler away. And what we're going to do is find our male side. And we're going to grab that. We're going to put the little washer on here. We're going to put it on the circle just like this. Line it up. Create 2 markings just like that. Take your seam ripper again, poke it into the bottom. Hold the fabric with your finger or your nail against it, so that way you don't slide too far. Poke it in the bottom of both sides, just like this. And then we're going to put, now You can see your holes created. Turn it upside down. Put your washer on there. Fold them down nicely, just like that. And we're going to do that same exact procedure where we put a piece of interfacing off of that leftover piece. Just cut a little square off of there. And we're going to be just adhering it to that so that it covers it permanently. So I'm going to go with the iron and do that, and I'll be right back.
Kim says the way you do the snap gives extra stability too. They're not likely to pop out.
No, they won't. So I'm just gluing it onto here real quick. So now you'll have a piece that looks like this. So you'll have your snap on one side and the cover on the other, just like that. So you can see when you close the bag, that's what's, or the wallet. Stop saying bag, Tiffy. Stop saying bag. When you close your wallet, it's on the correct side. So just know, because I messed up a few times because I wasn't paying attention, this always goes on here face up with your snap piece facing up like that. And then this obviously is on that side. So now we're going to work on making the zipper. So I'm going to put you guys, camera is moving about right here so that we can work on this zipper. So we have all of our pieces, by the way. So here's all of our pieces. We're actually going to be lining this up on here and trimming this off. So I'm just going to put it on here just like this. And I'm going to trim away about a tiny bit on that side and a 1/4 inch. I'm going to trim away a 1/4 inch on both sides of this. So I'm going to line this up. 1/4 inch off of that. Turn it around. It should be the right size. We're going to take about a 1/4 inch off of this side. Just like that. Take this and lay it on here. And look, it's the same size. There we go. Okay, that part's done. So we trimmed the inside of the wallet real quick. Now, let's do our zipper. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this to the machine real quick. You guys, if you have different zippers, that's on you. I'm just going to stitch this little end piece closed. I don't hand stitch them. I just stitch them on the machine real quick. I'll show you what it looks like in a second. I can snip away my threads. All right, so here I have stitched the end right there of the zipper just so that it keeps it closed. And what I'm going to do is, so it's still snap, I'm just going to, so you can see the zipper goes all the way to the end like it's supposed to. Just want it to stay closed. I'm going to take the zipper tab, move everything else out of the way. So you can see here's the sides we folded in. I'm just going to place the zipper in between that, and I'm going to fold it on top of itself like this. And then I'm going to stitch an 1/8 of an inch seam across here, and then I always double stitch, like I seriously always double stitch. So I'm going to put a second stitch across that as well. So I'm going to take you guys back to the sewing machine after I put this on. I'm going to come back to it because I want to show you, and then we'll do it again. And I'll actually show you up close. So I'm going to do this real quick and show you what I'm doing. Where do my little snips go? There they are. Then I'm going to come back and stitch a second time about 1/8 of an inch away from that. Okay, so this is what I have so that you can see under the camera. Don't mind the threads. We're going to trim all that off so that when I close my zipper, it comes right up to that and seals it completely. And then the only thing that we need to do now is slip this open like this, because you're going to have way too much bulk if you leave that excess zipper in there. And I'm going to slide my scissors inside here without cutting it, so you can see in the center. And I'm going to cut about right here, a 1/4 inch and pop that out.
Connie asked, is this wallet like the other one you made?
Yes, this is just adding a zipper to it. So I snipped the inside, I snipped the zipper away. Even though I closed it, I still snipped that away because now it's sealed and it comes all the way to the edge. So now I'll show you at the machine how we're doing this. First, we want to make sure that we have the right amount of zipper. So we're going to lay the outside of our bag, or I said it again. Wow, we should just smack me every time I say that. I'm going to lay this right here, and I'm not really going to be using this whole section, so I'm just going to kind of line it up. And I am going to take a rotary cutter, and I'm going to snip away my excess zipper. So technically you only need an 8-inch zipper, but you're still going to be snipping some away, just so you know. So I snipped away that part of the zipper. We're going to take this other piece, and I'll take you to the sewing machine for this one. We're going to do the same procedure. We're going to stick this like this, and we're going to lay that on top. So it's going over like this and inside there, and I'm going to be stitching along here with an 1/8 of an inch seam, giving me a little zipper. So let's go move this now so that you guys can come to the machine. Just like that. And we're going to come, camera's moving. It's the only thing about this portable, you guys can see everything, but I do have to move you often. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to flip the whole thing around because I like my project, the long part on the table this way and not this way. So I'm going to, now that that zipper's in there, I'm going to sew on the edge, and then I'm going to come 1/8 of an inch away from that and sew again. So we're going to sew right here on the edge.
This project.
Pull it away, snip it, and then I'm going to stitch now 1/8 of an inch from that. So technically 1/8 of an inch from that is the center of this foot itself.
Craft with what is late? Is that a bag you're making?
I'm making a wallet. All right, so there is that, and you can see again it's stitched twice. There's, you can see the thread now. So what we're going to do is spread it open again. You can even twist it out like this. Twist the whole thing out and just snip that away like that. And then pop that back into place. We don't want bulk, so that is why it's just this end now. No zipper. So when we pop our corners out, this will fit perfectly. So I'm going to move you guys now back to the... actually, I'm just going to leave you right here. Here's where the zipper is going to go. I'm going to trim off these ends real quick so it's nice and straight. You can do this with a rotary cutter, or you can just do it by eye. I'm going to trim it so that the whole thing is now even, just like that. So you can see now it's nice even. It's not really too even, but whatever, it happens sometimes. I'm going to do this one just like that. And snip away this one as well right here. That's good enough. Just like that. And now I'm going to center it on here, and I'm going to cut away those ends in a minute. We're going to start by making sure that our zipper is on the correct side. So when your wallet is closed, this is how you know you're doing this right. So close your wallet, and you want to see which side you want your zipper to come from. Yes. Temporarily. No, just leave it. No, just leave it on. So I want my zipper to come from this direction. So when the wallet opens up, you can see my zipper will be up at this top part right here. So what I'm going to do is know that this is always on this side. So I'm going to hold it there, put it right there for a second. And what we're going to do is we're going to grab those little pocket pieces. Remember those pocket pieces? We're going to take these over to the iron real quick, and I'm going to show you just right here real quick. I'm just going to fold it back about 1/4 inch. Let's see if I can't do this from right here. Fold it like 1/4 inch. This is a seam roller that my daughter brought me yesterday. There we go. I'm going to take it to the ironing board though and press it for real, but we're going to press about 1/4 inch on both of these little pieces. So I'm just going to, again, towards the inside. So I'm pressing them wrong sides together. Just like that. But I'm going to do it at the iron. I just want you guys to see what the piece is going to look like so that they're both folded like that. So I'm going to the iron. I'll be right back. You were able to see that, right?
What, pushing?
Yeah.
The roller? Yes.
Okay. Well, being at the machine like that, I'm not sure how much you can see and how much you can't see. All right, here we go. We're going to start assembling this now.
If they want me to move the camera or anything else, I have to do is ask.
All right.
I can move the camera.
We just need one of these for now.
Kim says, I love that purple.
It's pretty, isn't it? I'm going to put my zipper wrong sides or right sides together. I'm also going to change out to a zipper foot due to the fact that this machine or this zipper that I'm using needs a zipper foot. If you have a wider zipper, then you don't need to do this, but I have to. Thanks to my thanks to the fact that these are thinner zippers because I ordered the wrong ones last time. I knock this off and put my zipper foot on.
Crystal asks, what kind of batting do you use inside?
I don't use any batting in these. I'm using interfacing. Pelon 911. All right. Now we're going to take the outside of our wallet. I'm going to center this on here. So you should have about 1/2 inch on each side. I'm going to center that on there. And then we're also going to put this little piece right here that we cut for inside, which was the 8 by 3 3/4, and then we folded in the bottom. We're going to lay that right sides together on here. We're going to center it. And I'm going to start by moving that zipper out of the way to the other end first, because if I don't, it's going to be in my way at first.
Ellen says it's a beautiful wallet. She got skills.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you, Ellen.
Lining them up. And you can put pins or clips if you want. I'm not going to at this point right now. I'm just lining the zipper and that piece in, and I'm going to go ahead and now sew this right along the edge of the zipper. Mine is not 1/4 inch because of the fact that these are the wrong zippers. All right, I'm going to lift this up out of the way. We're going to put the zipper head back on the other side. If you had a bigger zipper, you probably wouldn't even have to do that, but I'm using a smaller zipper. And finish the rest of the way down. And back stitching and right off.
Craft with Love likes your color choice as well as the pattern.
So now we're going to take and press this back just like this. I'm just going to use my finger for now, but I actually will take it to the iron in a second. And then we're going to fold it into itself like this. So it's going to be folded over and it's going to look like this, where the zipper will stick out on the top. Just like this. Press the other side. Just like this. And I'm going to go to the iron real quick and just give it a nice go over. And that way we can top stitch on here with that facing down. So we're going to make sure that that's not in the way of anything. And watch out for your zippers when you're doing this, because the zippers can get ruined.
Debbie says my bestie would love a skirt in that purple pattern.
That's cool. I probably would wear a tank top in it. But I only had a fat quarter of it. All right, so now that that is pressed, it should look like this. So you can see, it should look like that on the back. And we're going to go ahead and top stitch this, just like this. And it has to top stitch from this side now. I know I'm moving around so much, but we're going to top stitch it this way real quick.
We're getting every angle.
Yeah. I have to turn it around a bazillion times because it doesn't zip. The zipper gets in the way and it's just annoying. Like I said, it's the wrong zipper. So I'm just top stitching 1/8 of an inch away from the edge, making sure that all this is staying down and folded out of the way. That's why I pressed it. right along that top edge, 1/8 of an inch away. My zipper tab out, don't run over it, and back stitch at the end and right off. And I threw all my stuff way over there. All right, so now it's top stitched, as you can see.
Kathy says, Tiffany, did I miss you showing your thing that your grandma gave you that is 60 years old?
Oh, she was supposed to remind me. Yeah, I haven't shown it yet, but remind me in about 10 minutes when this bag is more closer to be putting together.
You never told me. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, we were talking about it last night on teas.
Okay, well,
all right. You then. Now we're going to grab the inside of the wallet. Here's the outside of the wallet. And here is our other piece right here. So now we want our other piece, and this is where we just need a couple clips. And I'm going to back you up so you can watch me do this. There we go. There's a good angle, I guess. Good enough. Anyway, I'm going to grab a couple of these, just a couple. What I'm going to do is we're going to be putting the zipper out of the way for a second. We're going to put this right sides together right here. And I'm going to put a couple clips in here on the edge for now. Just like this, along the edge of the zipper. We're not worried about that for just a second. Just on the edge of my zipper. Lining that up so they're right sides together. Wait, hold on. Hold on. I'm having a brain fart. Give me 2 seconds.
Take your time.
Brain fart. I do this every time I brain fart. Sorry. This is the outside because that's the inside. Hold on 2 seconds. This goes on this side. Okay. Yeah, I brain farted. So we're going to take this piece right here and we're going to flip the outside of it. Wrong side. Right side down. Then we're going to put this on here just like this because I brain farted. But you guys know it happens every time I do a bag. But you know that I end up correcting myself every time. So I'm going to put these clips on here just like that. So now these two pieces are right sides together. We're going to flip it over. That's why we clipped it on. And we're going to grab the wallet. Now you want to make sure that your pocket is on the credit card side, because the side that your phone slip and your money slip or whatever, your checkbook or whatever you're putting in this side is thick. We don't want the little pocket on the thick side. So we're going to put the credit card slot side right sides together. And you notice they're not lining up on the end. They're not supposed to because we have a zipper now in the way. We're going to take the pin, undo it, and clip this on this side now. Just like this. And you notice that my tabs are still sticking out. That is fine. And now we're going to stitch along this. So it looks like this. It doesn't matter which side you stitch on. We're just going to stitch along here, and I'm going to move it to where I can open that zipper easiest. So that would be this way. So now I'm going to just stitch this down now. So I'm going to watch for that darn zipper. Because again, I can't sew a 1/4 inch away like most zippers. This is like in between an 1/8 and. All right, let's find my zipper. We're going to move it out of the way by closing it, just sticking my hand underneath and zipping it shut. And now I'm going to continue on down. Backing stitch, back stitch at the edge. All right, snipping that. I don't need these clips now. I'm just going to move them out of the way. What we're going to do, same thing as before, we're going to open this up. We're going to finger press for now, just so that you can see it's finger pressed. And then you're also going to keep this over there. Finger press this side. So the whole thing is now open, just like this. Nice and flat, nice and open. And we're going to take this to the iron, and I'm going to press it down. Remember, watch out for your zippers in your iron, because you definitely don't want to ruin anything. And I'm going to top stitch after I iron it, because I want it nice and flat. So I'm just over at the iron, away from you guys. Just pressing nice and flat. I'm going to tip it upside down and make sure that there's no folds or pleats next to my zipper closing, because that will like stop the zipper from closing. Definitely don't want that to happen.
Juanesa says she's laughing at herself. She makes bags in lots of different kinds, but if I tried to do a video while I was making them, I think everything would go wrong. It would take 6 days. She says, Tiff, you're awesome.
Thank you. All right, so again, it's nice and pressed. I'm going to top stitch along here. I always put my zipper towards the outside like this, because for some strange reason, it does not like to go over the other way with the zipper foot on here. So we're going to have it on that side. Everything is nice and open, and I'm going to stitch 1/8 of an inch away from the edge. And I'll make sure it stays open the whole time. My zipper tab is being held by my finger. Don't let it bounce in the way, because then you're going to stitch over it and you're going to have a nice big broken needle like I did the other day, because I did break a needle the other day. So I'm just carefully and slowly sewing across. 1/8 of an inch from the edge, and I'm using purple thread, so you guys should be able to see it the whole time. All right, so here is that. So now it's top stitched, so you can see, and it is also top stitched, so you can see, so that my zipper can actually open, and you should be able to put your hand through this point. If it's wrong, you will have something wrong, and it'll be noticeable. So now here's the fun part. We're just going to trim off these edges and assemble the whole thing. It goes together so fast at this point, like literally, but we have to change the foot back out too, because I don't sew it with the zipper foot. All right, so the ends are off. It's nice and flat now. I'm just going to toss those out of the way, and we're going to put my other sewing foot back on here. Wherever my screwdriver-y thing went, there it is. So zipper foot coming off, regular foot going back on.
Craft with Love says it's looking great this far.
Yes, just wait. You guys will see in a second. It's going to look so awesome. All right. Now to assemble it, this is so easy to do, so easy. You just have to remember, this is the part you have to remember. Open your zipper. You have to have that zipper open. If you don't have that zipper open, this is not going to work. All right, my flap stays down. Make sure you're not sewing it with it sticking out. We're going to take just the outside or the inside of the bag and line it up with the outside of the bag. And then we're going to take those 2 pocket pieces, and remember we folded them. We're going to stick those out on the other side. And what we're going to do is we're going to, right here at this edge, we're going to push this, the zipper tab right here, we're going to push it in like this. Okay, so it's in towards the pocket, and we're going to put a clip on it. We're going to go to the other side and push it in towards the pocket. So you're going to have a pretty big bulkness right there, but it's not super bad because there's no interfacing along that edge. Then we're going to line the edge of our folded pocket that we folded our 1/4 inch seam back. We're going to line those up and put 1 pin here and 1 on this side. And we're going to line up this end. And everything's nice and lined up. Outside of the wallet is with it. Like this. Lined up this right here. Put the pin right here. And this one is going to be a little bit different because this time we actually can sew all the way around the whole thing. But what we're going to do is we're going to start in at the pocket part right here. And those are lined up nicely. Just going to try to keep them lined up nicely. We're going to start right here on one of the pocket sides. It don't matter which way you're sewing this darn thing. Just start at one of the pocket sides. And we're going to come in 5/8 of an inch. But watch how I do this. So I'm going to line it up at that outer corner at the 5/8 of an inch. And I'm going to put my thing down. But as I'm coming up this zip, the pocket part, I'm actually going to be tipping it into a 1/4 inch. So watch how I do this. I'm at 5/8 of an inch with the tip of my piece. I'm going to start stitching with a back stitch, and then I'm going to start right away turning it into a 1/4 inch seam. So I'm just going to go right here. I'm now at a 1/4 inch seam. I'm going to back stitch right there. That's where my zipper tab is. And now we're just going to 1/4 inch all the way around this whole entire thing. Back stitch about right there. Come off the edge. And then line up the 1/4 inch seam. Back stitch right here, because I'm going to be cutting those off. And now you're going to have some thickness, because this is where your, oh, what's the word for it again? The flap for closing your little wallet is. It's right here. So I'm going to back stitch right about at it and a couple back stitches on it so that the flap could never come undone. And then I'm going to stitch all the way to this edge. I'm going to back stitch. Come right off. Turn it. Come in. Make sure, one more chance, that zipper is open. You can reach in right here and make sure that that zipper is open, because right now if we sew this, you're not going to be able to open your zipper now. So make sure you had your zipper open, because if you didn't, this is not going to work. All right, so I'm back stitching right there, going up this edge now, 1/4 inch seam. We're coming right here to where the zipper tab is. I'm going to go right over that. I'm going to back stitch. And now I'm going to go from right here. I'm going to start stitching towards this corner, and this corner we're going to come off at the 5/8. So let it turn, and then your corner right here of the inside of your pocket should land at the 5/8 inch mark on your sewing machine tray. So here we go. And now I'm going to back stitch. Come right off of it. Snip it. I'm going to put all these away because I don't need them now. Snip this. And here's the fun part. I'm going to back you guys up. Back it up, back it up, back it up. There you go. You can see my nice mess here. Reach in through that pocket. Grab, oh, wait. Hold on. Let's trim away. Got to trim away these corners first real quick. So just trim away the corner. Right up to the stitching, but not on the stitching. You don't want to mess that up. Just right to the stitching at the corner, but not the stitching. Just like that. That's all we need to snip. Now, reach your hand in. Your zipper should be open. Grab this part of it where your, you can see this is the feel for your closure flap. Grab that and pull the whole thing through that pocket. Just like this. Now stick your hand in the hole and push everything out. Push your corners out. And you're going to need a turning tool if you have one. And I got threads just sticking out everywhere because I forgot to snip them all before doing all this. I'm going to grab my hair marker. There it is. Stick it inside. I'm going to push out my corners nicely. Just like that. I'm also going to snip any. Nope, I need it one more time. Okay, we're going to push out this corner now. Just like this, so it's nice and sharp. You can see nice sharp corners. I have loose threads all over this whole thing. And now we're going to use just your finger. Go in right here. Push your pocket down in there and find your inside of your zipper tab and push that out just like this. So you push your pocket in there and then find that zipper tab and push the whole thing out. Straighten it up by sticking in your hair marker or your chopstick or whatever tool you have until it's nice and flat on the top. And now you'll know this is why I covered the zipper on both sides, because there is no raw anything now. The zipper is 100% covered. Everything is covered. Turn the whole thing around. Grab the other side. Pop it out.
Says, love the purple. You are fast.
Push it out with your tool so that it's nice. And everything should be nice and flat. Just rub your fingers in there. And I'm going to take this over to the iron. Everything is nicely in there. And everything is nicely in there. I should have trimmed away all my excess threads. They're coming out my seam. All right, and now I'm going to go press this nice and flat all the way around. I'm not going to get this perfect up here. I mean, I can if I get that to push just right. There we go. Come on. Oh, well. No big deal. It's nice and flat for me.
Everybody's loving that purple.
All right.
Kathy says the purple's very pretty.
We're going to flatten this out now, and we're going to take it to the ironing board, and I'm going to flatten it, and then I'm going to come back because we're going to top stitch it. And then we only have one more step, and then we can move on to the giveaway.
Yeah, because a lot of people already got off, went to sleep.
If I would have paused in the middle of doing this, I would have forgot a step.
That's okay. We've only been on an hour and 20 minutes.
All right. Everything is nice and pressed.
Arlene says it's my favorite color. Love it.
Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead, and even though this is in there, we sewed 5/8 an inch away from that edge, remember, on your pocket. So all we have to do is top stitch and then seal the pocket, and we'll be done. So we're just going to come over here, and I'm going to top stitch, but I'm going to show you something because you will not, repeat, you will not be able to get your sewing machine over this whole section right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in right here around this zipper area. I'm going to come in right here just a little bit until I'm like 1/8 of an inch away in, and then I'm going to turn because you won't be able to top stitch the whole thing. So I'm going to back stitch.
Wendy asks, is there a reason why you start at 5/8 an inch in the pocket?
Because you need to be able to have room to sew all the way around, or else your pocket's going to be sitting at the seam. The seams are going to be butting up. If you start at 5/8, it's right there. So I'm going to go all the way around right now. We're stitching our top stitch 1/8 of an inch away from the edge all the way around. Pivot. Everything's going good. There's a lot of seam right here. This is where I struggled when I did the vinyl bag. I mean the vinyl wallet. I guess I'm gonna have to make a bag because I keep saying the word bag.
Yes, please do.
Going this way now. When I get to this top up where my zipper is, I am gonna veer off right at this top section because you can see I started right here, not at the zipper. I'm gonna have to clip that. When I get to this top, I'm gonna veer off, but I'm gonna back stitch before I veer off all the way. Do that. We're gonna snip it right at the edge. I'm gonna snip all this funkiness away because of the way it caught at the end. Right there, just like that. And the last thing we need to do is pull our pocket out, and it's already folded, so just pull the whole pocket out as best as you can, and you can see we already have a seam pressed for it. Hook them together, start from one end, so you can see the pocket was in there. I pulled it out. We're just going to come right here. It's already folded, so we don't have to do anything fancy. Just going to back stitch right here at the end. I'm holding it, I'm flattening the whole thing out, and I'm lining my little seam up, and I'm sewing right along the edge, about 1/8 of an inch away. I'm holding the other end right here.
Craft with Love says you inspire me to go ahead and copy my wallet.
All right, so here we go all the way. Press. I'm going to back stitch at this end. Run that off. Snip away any loose threads. Just like that. We're going to tuck the pocket back in there. Right inside. And I have a weird, there we go. It was grabbing funny. So the pocket is now in there. I'm going to run my finger along it so it's nice and flat. We're going to zip that up, fold it in half just like this. And put your magnetic snap on there. And now we have a wallet, which I got to clip away those little tiny threads because they're sticking out funny, which annoy me. We now have a wallet like this. And if you want, and I've been doing this on a couple of them, I've been putting a stitch down at the fold, so I like fold it like this. I'll do it on this one actually so that you can see. I fold it and I take it over to the iron and give it a crease like this. where it's always permanently folded, and then I've been stitching along that fold, and actually I can see it right here, so let's just do that while I'm right here. You can see my crease. Snip the end and snip the end, and there we have it. So it's like kind of just like a holding it in place kind of thing, just like that. So there we have it, a little wallet with a nice, wonderful zipper pocket to put whatever you want in it, change, blah blah blah, I don't know.
This is awesome.
So there we have it.
Awesome.
So let me put the camera back in its normal place now. Moving the camera, tipping you guys
It's a beautiful
up
tiff. I love it.
so that you can see me and my mess behind me. There we have it. And I didn't realize you are crooked. There we go.
Love says that really came out nice. That is.
So
that is going for sale fast if it hasn't already. So it
here
hasn't sold yet, but it is for sale.
is our little wallet. So again, just open it up. You put your credit cards in there. They fit perfectly. I don't have any in here. I don't have any cards in here, honestly, to stick in there. And then you can either put a cell phone on this side and or your checkbook and cash and so on and so forth. And now we have the same exact wallet that I made before, except with a little zipper pouch in it. So there we have it.
Awesome as always.
And there's a permanent stitch now along here so that the fold
That's so
always
cute. My holiday gift making, that came out great.
well, hopefully you guys got all those directions good. So there we have it. Isn't it adorable? I will have to go and snip away the rest of this little threads. Actually, nope, I don't have to snip because they're pulling right out, except for one. All right, so let's get on to the next part of today's video, which is the last and final part, the giveaway announcement. Who won the giveaway? All right, so there it is.
Krista says, I really like the colors. I swear I'm going to find my snaps and make one.
I'll show the inside one more time. There. All right.
Karen says, I've been making little snap wallets all day. Definitely not as nice as these.
And you can see they sit flat and they sit flush and perfect. All right. To the giveaway stuff. I'll clean the rest of all this up later. So I'm going to go back in time and show you guys what's being given away and then announce who the winners are.
Bring them all over to you. Can I finally unplug this iron?
Yes.
It doesn't beep at us anymore.
I have to put my zipper foot away or else I'm going to lose it because I lose everything. All right.
These four, right?
Yep. All right. So the items that were up for grabs for the giveaway was this baby quilt. Super adorable. It is quilted with a elephant, lion, and giraffe pantograph. So you can see, beautiful, beautiful. And it's got gummy bear colors on the back. Perfect for a baby. Nice and fluffy, just the way I like them.
Lisa says, have you considered using the RFID inside the wallets? That's the thing that protects the credit cards that Damon talked about?
Yeah, I can get some, but I haven't thought about it right now. Here is a wall hanging that I made. So this is a cutesy little wall hanging. And it is quilted with leaves and tendrils. And the back has banana cats.
Banana cats. That's so cool.
And then the next item is this, and there's a double of this because there's two of these. They're little baby quilts or wall hangings, whatever you want it to be. They're just quilted differently. So this one has the quilting going side to side with like a point type whatever. And then the other one has roses, and I actually quilted these in a live stream. So you can see the roses and quilting. And three of these have the same yellow binding, which were the last
Well,
three
they're
you
all
just saw.
saying pretty and colorful and love it, Tiff.
All right. The
Love
winners
the quilting and all.
were picked
Love
by
those
random number generator. And we had to do it prior to this. So we just went on the random number generator, found out who that number was, and then wrote it down. Went to the random number generator, found out who the number was, and wrote it down. So
we did it before because we used your phone.
if you are here right now, and if I call your name of these 4 prizes, you could tell me which prize you want. And then the last, whatever, if you're not here, those will go to the people. Because I already have your addresses and everything, so I'll just send them at random. But if you're here, you can claim 1, 2, 3, 4. So the first number was called 51. Turns out to be Patricia Amaro, A-M-A-R-O. Patricia Amaro. She was number 51. So if Patricia is here, you can
only 140
choose
of you guys
one.
entered, so it wasn't that many to choose
There was
from.
143 entries. All right.
Oh, Patricia's here. She says, wall hanging with leafy quilting.
Okay, so this is Patricia Amaro. She has won this one. Woo woo. This one I never even did the pattern for. I should do it. Okay, that goes with that. All right, the second one. We had number 107 was the number that was randomly chosen, and it is Kelly Green. Kelly Green, if you are here, let me know and you can choose what's left. There's 2 of these. One has the roses, one does not, and then there's the colorful other one. Kelly Green.
Let's just put them on your face since you're the fan.
Oh, I'm going to keep going since Kelly Green isn't here. All right. The next number that was called was 42. That was our next random number. And that was Roxanne Van Gelder. Roxanne Van Gelder, you have won one of these prizes as well.
Practice Love says, like your drum roll.
It's tapping on the table. And last but not least, the generator pulled up number 121, which was Della Badger. Della Badger, if you are here, you also won something. Yay! So there we have it. Those were all the winners. What was the first name again? I totally forgot.
Where'd you get the purple plaid?
In a pile of fabric that I just got from a subscriber who sent me a box of scrap fabric.
The first one that won was Patricia. She
So,
claimed hers.
Patricia won, Kelly Green won, Roxanne Van Gelder, and Della Badger. Congratulations to the winners for my 4K giveaway. And just know that around the corner, if you guys all help me out there and subscribe if you're new, like my videos and share them with other people, we will be at 5K before you know it, because I'm at like 4,790 or something like that. So it's almost a 5K, and there'll be another giveaway. And then there'll be 5 items up for grabs. So, and they'll all be handmade by me. So yeah, that's it. That's the end of today's video. So Sunday we made our little wallet. I gave away the giveaway part. So those 3 weren't on. Those 3 weren't here.
They didn't say anything yet?
Then those will just get randomly sent out because I have everyone's address. You don't have to worry about a thing. And that's it. And if anybody's interested, this wallet is finished and it's now for sale. It is $25 plus $5 shipping. Just in case you want to buy a wallet, because it's the only one I have of that color. But I can make one more of that color because I have enough fabric to make one more of that color. But just one more.
Your grandma thing.
Oh, my little grandma thing.
Kathy said
Okay,
it. I forgot too, Kathy. Thank you.
I'll be
Kathy.
right back out of the screen for just a second.
I was supposed to remind her too, and I totally forgot. It's a good thing you're on it.
So this little guy, my grandma gave me when I had my first child. My grandma was like, Murphy's Law. Just watch, because one thing would happen. Like my kid got sick. Murphy's Law, another kid's going to get sick, and another kid's going to get sick, so on and so forth. So my grandma, it was her thing, Murphy's Law, Murphy's Law. But she was my great grandma, not my grandma. So she was way old, and she died in 2010. Anyway, she gave me this little ornament from the it's like 1950s or 60s. It is the cutest little thing. So you can see it's the Murphy's Law.
Yep, they can see it.
Hold it up like this. It is a little metal ornament. It is so old, and I've had this forever. It goes with me everywhere, and it sits on a shelf in my room because it is true. This is how I live my life. something goes wrong, even if it's house, if it's something within here, something else happens always. It just always happens. It's Murphy's Law. So this was my little ornament. Isn't he just the cutest little thing?
Do you mean a homemade one by her, Emily? Like she made the tank top the other day? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah. So there's that. That's my little thing. He's covered in dust. But yeah, it's just a little tiny little saying, and it sits on a shelf every day, and I can see it every single day. And it reminds me that it can go wrong. Everything can go wrong. So, alrighty. What did you want to know?
Emily asked if they can have a Tiffany t-shirt. And I asked, is she a homemade one like you made the tank top?
Like
I think
these?
That's what she means.
No, she's talking about these. I haven't had these made.
Oh.
I discussed it with a few t-shirt makers. It's I gotta tell you guys, it is way too costly for me to have everything made in advance and then have a ton of sizes, because I'm a small channel and I don't get paid enough here on my YouTube channel to even afford to buy 5 t-shirts a month. Unless you guys are buying them like that, I kind of can't do nothing about it. But this is my logo, the Tiffany's Quilting Life with the little butterfly. T is the one that designed it for me from T Quilts, and this goes with me everywhere. And I can't go any further until I have some kind of income and financially can back that. You know what I mean? So you guys already know I'm poor.
I thought she meant are you sure she didn't mean
I'm
like
pretty
you made
sure.
a tank top?
I can't make clothes for other people. Emily can make clothes. I can't make clothes.
Well, it's just a giveaway. She says for a giveaway. I don't know. I thought it was a good idea.
All right.
I don't know.
So,
she didn't clarify
there's
yet,
that.
so I don't know.
All right. So congratulations to the winners of the 4K giveaway. Thank you guys all for watching and hanging out for Sew Sunday. And this is the day I encourage you to always sew on a Sunday. I mean, if it's just one day a week for however long I'm on here, sit at your sewing machine. Let's hang out and do some sewing. So I'm going to get off of here. I will see you guys next Sunday or anytime in between, because I have ideas for this week, but I have doctor's appointments. So
they're on the t-shirt
just
thing. I don't know.
Watch for a video by me, whether it's an upload or it's a live stream, because there's some fun stuff planned coming soon. So I will see you guys next time. Bye. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share.
You're saying T could make the t-shirts for you. You can put them on Zazzle.
Yes,
people can pre-order them. I don't know. They're really on this t-shirt thing.
I will figure it out sooner or later. Just know I don't have the money right now to invest into to start. So, all right, guys.
Hold on. Goodbye. I have to find the little thingy here.